and he knows where he needs to be playing. It's just sometimes he'll play those spots and then humble, and that's bad. So he's just letting the rest of his team work those angles whilst he plays that off angle in a really, really strong
game to try and lock back in.
Yeah. I don't like that though, from Aurora. Because you can scout that a lot easier just by sending over towards the beachhead, having a look over towards Lighthouse and be like, okay, there's a guy up there waiting, try and check the girders. I always think it's an odd maneuver to try and just send someone, slingshot them across, and it's like, well, we know there's someone across there though, but you also just lost a player. Like, it's so early into the game, could have even just waited for zone 2. I'm curious to hear what the analyst desk has to say about that, because for me, that's just not EWC, PMWC potential. Right? That's not what that is.
Yeah, the trade of it, one player's one of your squad mates for an information play. Economically, it's not the best trade on it, especially if we see him get a good run out of this game. Goes down to an awkward fight, one player of difference, Blank.
Hell, I mean, even this circle right now, where it's down towards the eastern side, Fourth Rives knows that. This is prime time to go for bridge camps.
Yeah.
Like, if this circle was further over towards the northwest, maybe you don't go for that type of thing. But I think this one, if you're Aurora, it shouldn't be a case of, oh, let's check if there's someone there. You should just know.
Devil's in the details. And it paints a very pretty picture here for some teams. For Aurora, it results in 3 players alive in game 2 to kick us off. Flash also having 1 player knocked here. Zone crunching in. Bridge still in play. There you go, buddy.
Thought that this might be the case. On a circle like that, it's very, very awkward on these types of circles, and it can center up around bridge across both sides, which is super unfun to play. Because now this really could go back over towards Sosnovka way. I'm sort of expecting it to head towards the northwest, but for Aurora, they're stuck now. As are Alula. Alula's kind of considering whether we should take an eastern crossing or should we just play over towards the ridge side on the southern edge. It cuts out a massive amount of space though. So much water involved. So teams are just going to be sending towards Ferry Pier because there's safety in that location.
Vitality did thunderfoot their way down from Stolber quite quickly, so you can see there amongst the rest of the pack, everyone else attempting to forge a path into the zone, knowing that play space will be very limited with a decent chunk of it cut out by the water and that bridge dividing either team from each other. The only 2 squads on the island right now are Alula and Aurora. We've got E-Arena on screen now. This is the POV of Joker. Tiamba, though, taking the scrap towards OG. Withguard being hit very heavy. Trying to stay behind the trees, bro. Luckily still alive.
Yeah, great zigzag. Able to stay out of dodge there for a second. He was very close to going down. AKOP actually challenging this. But man, A-King has been making a name for the DBS, right? You know, there's a lot of nerfs that came through. S12K became the more popularized weapon. Despite that, though, A-King has been consistently winning these trades with it.
He's bringing it back in fashion. Seems like the Horror fans enjoying this one so far, getting quite loud there. You see the banner flying. Haru. Oh, going back in. Let's see what he can do with a DBS. Wants to prove he's the DB best up close and personal. On to Schwetz with the opener. Not ideal for his teammates, though, as Joker strikes with a shotgun and Turney K outside twists the knife. Another one falls. An orangutan, it all goes down to just Aru. Trapped behind the bike sheds and laid out by E-Arena.
E-Arena able to remove them. Stepped up to the plate, but not worthy to sit around here with E-Arena, unfortunately. Some good shots at the start there, but started to crumble slightly. Turney K came in like a demon, though, from the sidelines. I think Wizgod was not expecting him to be so up close and personal. Aura played back here. They're over towards the pier itself. Fourth Rives mirroring them over towards the eastern side. We are close towards our next circle now. Nigma Galaxy making me laugh at the moment, man. They're like, this circle looks horrendous. We're going to play in our drop spot for the rest of the game. We're going to get very looted before we even think about moving. And we're still on Sosnovka with this one. Fourth rise looking good. Down towards the southern edge here. Vitality trying to confirm over towards that compound that sits towards the field. I don't think it's a bad idea here. It gives you a lot of control of the longwoods that sits around this area. Not sure what S2G is doing. I think they've got boats. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it seems like at least one boat in play there. Dream scenario, maybe it's a hovercraft wrap back over to the mainland, grab their teammates, then get involved with the action later. Meanwhile, though, Godlike taking on Tiamba. Milu on his last leg, suffering a casualty there for the Tiamba squad. It's a decent start, but Godlike have received one knock onto their roster. This is the establisher. You can see the fight here from the top down. QZZ with a nade into the ditch. Manya very low, but backpedals into safety with cover to play with.
First nade goes long here. X-Power holding down the fortress, keeping that drawbridge pulled up. Takes a fair bit of damage here, but he's refusing to move. Manya will reinforce the front gates. Actually, he goes for a swing by, try and get some information on that. So Eagle's going to move around, understanding the position has been compromised.
Slowly trying to take some space back. Faint smoke wall goes up. Ooh, only gets worse for Aurora as well. And that's quick from Alula finding them. This was the other team that was on the island. There's now a third party that's joined there with that late rotation round from S2G. Looks like they did go back to grab the rest of the squad. Yeah, it was Kamikaze in the hovercraft. That's paid off for them to fight towards them. Ulf, interestingly, taking the hit over as well to Godlike. So that battle turns into a third party fight.
For Godlike there, quick swing around, take shots over towards Ulf. For them, Ulf should be able to pick the players back up. They've got a good spot right now. Not as safe as they might like it to be, but it is decently central. It feels like the circle's peeling away from Sosnovka at this point. We have very limited space to work with. Alula trying to make the cross. S2G, Hamzi at distance. Will find a shot over towards Aurora there, leaving them at 0. Out of the game early, 23 points is where they'll end. On a single point earned on this one.
So a great start on Rondo, but a bit of taste left in their mouths off the back of the Erangel performance.
These guys have been playing the same game. I think this is the first time they've been inside the circle since the beginning. How does their entry work, actually? Man, how are we still on the bridge?
Yeah, this is kind of unreal. At some point, I thought we'd move.
Yeah, we're still here. I mean, Sosnovka is still in as well. I cannot believe this.
Aluna also took another casualty from S2G on the backside, so they've called it quits and actually rushed over the bridge now into the mainland. Yeah, but that's only a trio blank. Damage onto Yasser as well.
Oh, Enigma Galaxy might try and trade up. They're just in. They're just in. They're absolutely playing a different game at the moment. I mean, I'm glad finally there's some shots that go towards them now. It's just such a wild play from Enigma Galaxy. Coop's taking a hell of a lot of damage. Slowly careen it back in towards his team. And lock it down. They have lost one off the back of that. Vehicles are smoking, flaming. Flashes Dashwood gone. I mean, that's 3 eliminations potential there for them, but they're worried about these sightlines to the side. Furia. Ooh. Go on. Give it some welly.
Tiamba doing Tiamba things once again. Tony K low on HP on the top floor, upside in the attic. Looking for an angle here, but Falak with the distant shot claps back onto Eagle. A-King gets a little bit high octane as he charges through the ground floor. Nade on the stairs. Mormon's cooking one of his own to bounce down. Godlike getting involved with the fight. That's Manya just outside the window. Big Papa Pump in his hands. So many teams crunching in.
Yeah, good Molotov here, but really good timing from Godlike as they move into this one, just leaving A-King alive here for Tiamba. Arena on the upstairs with the 4v2v1. Really good stuff. I mean, this is a good entry point coming through for Godlike, and they understand if they can get rid of 2 teams, they're going to be opening up a lot of space down here. Edmino Still at high HP count, but Manya finally does fall here to a nade from Mormon. Tiamba goes down.
Smoke on the stairs. Mormon's going to clear it. Oh, straight in with the clothesline. Whoa! The turnaround. Mormon saying, "Feed me more," as Godlike charge into him. Quick decision, but not fast enough on the mantle. And Sume will save it. But at what cost? The only player left alive for the squad.
I mean, Godlike need more men now. They're only down to one. What a play from Mormon. The speed, the velocity. Straight in there, no qualms. Now Vitality, they're up into it. This place has been the graveyard of 5 separate teams so far. Vitality finally just come over towards the dregs. The funeral's almost over. Can Salme stay alive as the sole participant?
The Vitality a victim from the top floor. Or will they just be signing their death warrants on entry? Axel being shot in the back. A new challenger arrives. It's Hora in the distance as Jiggle is able to punish and soften them, leaving them with 3 players left. Sume still just guarding the stairs with a nade pin pulled. He's going to go down. Razak on a dive around the corner. He wants to punish him with a shot. He will find it.
Really, really good job from Razak. I think you have to make that play in that moment as well. You hear the pin pull coming down, trying to get the res off. You're trying to go for the revive, get some respite in that location. So Razak goes for the risky play to keep them up as 4, understanding they'll need that amount of players to push through the next couple of compounds. They got Aura in front of them and 4 thrives after that. Alula down towards the south side. Circle finally moved away. Still a lot of water on this one. Beachhead does well. Ida, as well as Ulf, now going at it. Play from Ulf downstairs is knocked. They have 4 players up though right now. This is very easy to recover from. And it should be.
Whoa, you run straight into that one. Catching the as Ida try and clap back. It's good damage, but such an awkward setup between both of them. Casualties on either side. Scarface looking to go for the pickup play. Meanwhile, outside, Emre charging round with the SMG and denied out by Nongxin Red Force. Tizzy takes that one.
Nongxin could push this pretty quickly. Ulf is not looking too good right now. Neither is Vitality. Flipping into action. They lose a vehicle. Razy and Razak try and get the buggy through the window, but end up dismantling through normally. That was a speedy rotate. I like that. You know, cut your losses. Moving through Aura as well as 4th Rise is going to be hard, and eventually you get third party by one of them. You hear the engagement happening on the north. You send it. Now Ulf is in a very tricky spot. Cut between 2 strong teams in Nongshim as well as Vitality.
Quick decisions and shades of the Vitality that we were so impressed by prior. Once again, back on our screens, it's only the 1 elim they've been able to garner so far. But they are licking their lips at the prospect of so much more.
Getting a little bit more here, you can get yourself the Naruto skin in-game as well as the Ninetales Fury Org. Both looking very cool here. Ulf's going to hopefully have to drop a substitution jutsu here to try and get out of this one, because it is going to be hard. Vitality, Razy, Razak move up. Quick shots over towards Solus. He tries to move around the corner. Nongshim still in play. They're the ones getting the most of the damage though. Federales at least will confirm one. Quick switch around the side. Denying some of the sight lines. As Ulf does go down. Vitality though, they've been hugging the wall so far. Not allowing a single moment for Nongshim Red Force to try and challenge that spot. Razak though, what are you doing? Testing the waters, a little bit hot.
Yeah, I did not like the feeling of that one. Although maybe he wants to go for it from a slightly different approach. Runs back out. Meanwhile, attention turned onto Federales, and that is another knock going the way of Nongshim. Oh, Razak.
Oh, yeah, good shots.
He's got so easy, very low. Nade right on top of him as well, following up from that. Oh, mate. Hyunbin with the instantaneous conversion. Now it's a raw 3-on-3. Luckily, they will save Federales, but he's got to top himself back up.
I mean, Razak understood the idea. Now tries to get up towards the wall, create a different angle to deal with. Nongchin was quick to it. Hyunbin pushing up right now. It's a little bit close for comfort here. But I think they know they want to get rid of this guy sooner rather than later, but he has pulled these kind of antics before, getting a little too aggressive without the help of the rest of the team. So easy goes down the back lines as Flash starts to move on through.
Tizzy tries his might, rapid shots coming out, but not enough to finish Vitality. The end of Nongchin Red Force, but it does leave Vitality slightly weakened. And Flash, they are next in line to try and keep them pinned here, knowing eventually they'll have to move. Slightly paranoid about the other teams that could be behind them.
Blue is ushering Vitality forward, swinging in on the same angle as Flash. How will they make this work? S2G, you were right. You were actually right. They had 2 hovercrafts in play. Being able to keep both of these alive all the way through to this end game is giving them a lot of pressure. Lost isn't quite able to get it up though. And the hovercraft is stuck on the side. Yeah, just about. We'll take it. I mean, that, just letting it happen. Come on, bit more gas.
Got to give it some welly. His teammate's taking a fair bit of damage, but with that added armor of these big hovercrafts in play. If you say like this, man, if you can get him into the zone, there could be a lot you could do with it late game. I'm surprised the Lula have been able to guard this for so long, make it look uncomfortable. Nade after nade as well, just trying to soften them up.
Vitality do move over to the side. They're looking down over towards 4th Rise. The shots are pouring in. S2G, they brought repair kits as well with them. But the blowtorch in play, I mean, that's bold. On fire. Get out. Falak. Down, Aura, no fear, drops them all up top side, looks fairly decent on that one. Airburst are slightly too far. This is some comedy. Not gonna lie to you.
Okay, they should be able to clean up from here at least, as long as there's not any more mistakes. It's damage done onto Soul K, but they do hold on, shut down Alula.
What was that?
Bit of a weird one.
It was a weird one. I'm glad you picked it up strong, though, because, I mean, it is an important fight. It's just interesting. Vitality go down in the meantime as Flash continues to push the advantage. But it is majority of 4th Rise doing that damage. Enigma Galaxy, after their strange approach from the early game, now going out slowly but surely. Just Ralph as well as Lord. Flash has been all over the place so far. Next circle will pull in, stage 7. 4th Rise have been weathering it though. They have held a ton of space. It has been a little bit greedy, but they've been doing a good job of playing off one another. Yes, they've taken some knocks here and there, but they've maintained a 4-man. They're in this area early, and they understand better than anyone else. This is a game that they should be doing well on. I don't think I'd put as much pressure on and say this is a game they should win from the spot they had at the start, but it should be at least a top 5, which I think, you know, we've already achieved. So this is a good game from 4th Rise and shows that they still have it in them.
And with them being able to have enough timing here to get IQ back up once again, the 2-2 split from them could still pay dividends massively. It's been a very elongated firefight between them and Hora, effectively just mirroring each other's movement up along the ridge into the zone. A little bit more split here, no fear in the back, trying to protect some Overwatch. Right above you in the building as well. Meanwhile, that's an engagement over onto Enigma Galaxy. S2G, after moving in and cleaning out Alula, they head center zone, and they find the final blow there. Goodbye, Enigma Galaxy. S2G stealing points here, there, and everywhere.
Do we have to call this play the kamikaze from now on, where S2G just launch him out like a rocket to center circle and leave him there on his own?
He loves it.
This is the kamikaze. This is crazy stuff. The rest of S2G trying to regroup with him, but it's not likely. Kamikaze in play right now. The other hovercraft does go down, not really any other vehicles. Might need to regroup, pick it back up again, but Kamikaze, he's going to hold that spot. He's planted the flag, the S2G flag. T24 goes down, jiggle around the side.
Oh, Sleepy. Top side of the stairs, but you can't weather the storm as 4 Thrives arrives and the brain of the operation kicks in the brawn. The shotgun does damage. Falak there in the back line to assist, but no fear. Charging up. He's going to play on the edge, wants to run in now with the timing, see if he can shut them down. Falak charges back, can't do it. No fear, holds on. Quick switch to the primary. Gets himself onto an off angle. With one more play, if he can shut down IQ, he can take out 4 Thrives, and that's how he does it. No fear from Hora stands on.
Absolutely not frightened in the slightest as he moves downstairs, pushes up into the dark, and 4 Thrives will fall. Win up against the world right now. DPS at distance, he's fighting all of them, but S2G falling in the meanwhile. No fear. There's a possibility of winning this if he wants to push out right now.
Get involved in the action. Everyone's weakened. Doesn't have all the info we do right now. He's going to top himself back up, play the slow game. That's Flash. Losing their last man there with Kamikaze continuing to punish. Oh, a horrible spot. Tries to get the heal in. Kamikaze's got a single nade in the back pocket if he chooses to dash it. They've got clear vision now. Peppering the bullets. This is it. Pulls the pin, looking to cook. Let's see if he can land it.
Kamikaze looking for it now. A bit of splash damage. But not that just there yet. Kamikaze keeps spraying the right location with the bullets. Peppering the ground, picking up mud. Solke in the back lines. What's left out here? Quite an unfamiliar target. Solke will take down Tops, but Kamikaze is out, and we're down to a 1 versus 1 versus 1. The outside contender in no fear. Solke looking at both angles.
The battle of the solos to decide our second game chicken dinner. No fear already picking up that big clutch. He's amped up as an individual. Got a rough read on where he believes Solke can be stationed, tucked in behind this burnt-out hovercraft.
I don't think he knows. I think he knows there's a team in that general direction, but he does not know where No Fear is. Hamzy G finally goes down. I think No Fear has a rough idea that he's playing on this hovercraft, though. He has the information. Watching both of them. This would be an unbelievable double clutch up versus 4 Thrives into the last 2 teams. Zeus is just pushing forward. Instant spot, though, over towards No Fear. And now Zeus with all to do here. Flash, who had swept everyone aside. Solke, the last to fall potentially here versus Team Flash.
Zeus. The lightning reactions for Flash have guaranteed them a second place, but can he take it to first, or will Soke get it done for S2G? A smoke wall, giving him limited play space. That tree, the only protection for the peak for Flash. He's going to make his move, starts charging in, wants to close the distance. Here's the peak up, bullets on target. Suya so low, buckles under the pressure. That's the damage coming through as they lock it in.
S2G, Kamikaze with the Kamikaze play towards the center. It's an explosive finish right at the end. But Solke steps up, a lad that's been in the esport for the longest of time. He's still got it in him.
Feeding the crowd energy. A celebration in unison for the nation as they pop off on that one. S2G locking it down and everyone's living it up.
And it's all in the name because it is all gonna be okay at the end of the game for S2G. They had a lot of confidence coming into this one. They look good on the stage. They look good in the game. Is this the S2G comeback that we were looking for?
Aggression, confidence, some brilliant gun skill. Showing us a lot of the moves we needed to see on that one. A smart rotation from start to finish as well, playing by their own rules, Blank.
I think the thing for me is just, man, 2 matches so far, they have been both electric. I mean, this shot from Zeus.
Oh, the quick reactions, dude. That sent me.
His eyes must be going 2 different directions, man. He'd be seeing everything.
He was so locked in for an S2G fight. I don't even know how he clocked him, but instantly.
He said it, lightning flash reactions. That's what it is. I mean, it's so good from this team so far. I mean, they were involved in everything.
Yeah.
I think Horror, honestly, for them, yeah, it's a tough fight versus Fourth Rise, but you've got to be happy with the way that No Fear clutched up there. That is an incredible finish of those guys. Yes, Horror had a good spot on the sideline, but it's so many teams constantly pouring in, cycling out time and time again. I don't think that was an easy game whatsoever.
And you can feel it looks a little bit different with this lobby compared to what we had in isolation in groups, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's so much more quick to the punch, a lot more early contact. And it feels like sometimes we were seeing maybe a bit too much respect for the big dogs. Now everyone's playing on the same level. It feels like we're all on an equal footing here, and they're giving it their best. It really has changed the dynamic. But let's get down and hear from Kalaris himself on the stage about what they have to say.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Yes, you can cut the tension with a knife here at the moment for our first two games. And I'm here with our winners from game one, of course, Ralph from Nigma Galaxy, to talk to about them. Some of the games that have happened so far. So let's talk about that first game, in that late game against Aurora there. What was your anticipation as a team? Did you think Aurora had maybe moved a little bit earlier? Or talk to me about the late game and what you guys were experiencing.
I mean, we didn't really know. We didn't have much info. But we just played it slow. We took our fights that we need to take, and we just secured the win at the end.
I mean, it looks good at the end, right? Of course, getting that many points off of a Rondo. Not a bad start at all for a grand final like this. That second game, a bit harder, I think.
Yeah, second game was a bit harder. I mean, we have a team hot dropping us, but they're scared to fight. I don't know, they're camping. So we'll see next games what they do.
I was going to say, were you surprised by that? Because it was in the back. We were a little surprised that they were going to come your way. As we've talked about multiple times, it's your territory. So what are they doing?
They know we won't change, so they're just wasting their time. And they're coming to fight, but they don't want to fight. So I'm really confused right now.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining me here, Ralph. You heard it out there. Ida, he's got his eyes on you.
My name's Blank, and I've had 4 coffees, and I'm testing my reaction time right now.
I'm Hot Jukes. I just had a massage, and this is my reaction time.
Let's get it. I'm in the room. Yeah, so my reaction score is pretty damn good. I actually don't think it has something to do with anything else or anything like that. But what about you, Jukes?
I don't care. Cut.
S2G in hovercrafts. That is like white on rice right now, because my goodness, what a performance out of that squad. Before we break down that second match here in finals, don't forget that we do have the fan experience that you can check out here at EWC. Make sure you go check it out. You can check out the new mode, Brain Rot Royale. Check out the collaboration right now the PUBG Mobile is doing with Naruto, and so much more. And you can win some really cool shirts, which actually we've been wearing them. Not right now. I think Jukes does have one on, but you'll be able to check out so much stuff. Yeah, check out that still Brain Rot. I mean, Brain Rot Royale. I've been playing it. I think I got to level 7. I've seen people being able to get to level 11. I gotta grind some more.
Wow, 7.7.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes. Gotta keep it on brand, baby. Now that's it. I'm not gonna be playing it anymore. But S2G, Jukes.
Bro.
My goodness.
Oh, dude, that double hovercraft play right there at the end was absolutely insane. They were able to take out Aula in a very nice way. And then just, I like to see that they kept one player there, right by the water, behind the hovercraft, just in case. And he was able to clutch it up at the end and get that chicken dinner. Finally, an S2G win, and nice and early.
Yeah, really nice. And the momentum they were able to pick up on after, getting those hovercrafts. Very quick side note here while we're on this fight. 4 Thrives are looking, I hate to say it, very shaky. I don't know what happened, because group stage they were looking really solid, just not able to get that win. Here the splits are kind of off. They're pushing one by one. They're not really communicating, it feels like. So the last 2 games I've not been super impressed with them, but hopefully that changes in the next game.
And for 4 Thrives, I felt like it took him way too long, Neptura, to engage the fight there with Hora, just coexisting for too long. And No Fear came in clutch with that 1 versus 2.
He really did, and he continued to come in clutch for a lot of the game. Actually, he was a big part of the team this game.
Yeah, I just think he just made a big play. I mean, what can you do against that? When No Fear comes up and clutches it up, I mean, Aura fans are screaming these guys' names at the top of their lungs, and to be able to clutch it up like that is just huge. So yeah, unfortunate for 4 Thrives, huge for No Fear.
Another team that has been performing quite well today when we talk about eliminations has been none other than Nongshim Lace. This was the biggest feedback that we gave this squad during groups and also survival, and they're finally starting to put up those eliminations. As you can see, Nongshim Red Force right now with 9.
Yeah, absolutely, 7. I mean, they're finding important fights on their rotation to solidify that position, especially on that northern side. They were able to sort of catch Furia off guard. And now I do want to kind of segue into Furia and to why I need to highlight this. But one of our most aggressive playstyle teams is prioritizing the rotate on Rondo. We actually saw them grab utility, move into zone, and Max actually made a good point about this when NGX was sort of on the, I think it was the eastern side next to E Arena. Furia should have just pushed them into it, caused that fight. They would have had control over that whole entire side because they just sort of stopped the revive from Ulf. Then again, on this map, they found themselves in the position, and Nongshim from the northern side just obliterated their defense. This is just unusual for Furia. They are the power play team. They're the ones that get in a goddamn vehicle and shooting out the window and making that position them. It's just unusual.
They're right. They are supposed to be that aggressive team, and they're currently not showcasing that in the opposite, like you just mentioned, and I was mentioning too. Nongshim is putting up those eliminations, but something happened at the end of that last game. With the hovercrafts and S2G, that was a little bit sketchy, Net.
It was a little bit. It was a bit touch and go here, but the momentum they've been able to build with these hovercrafts, they had 2 or 3, and they just went, let's go for it. And it's this replay that I want to talk about here, because look how they're going to play this. It's like my driving. First of all, Secondly, look how they take that first hovercraft and they deny the sightlines of Aula, right? They separate them one by one. They can no longer play as a duo. They try and get as many of those sightlines abolished as possible with those hovercrafts. And to be honest, S2G with those hovercrafts have been actually insane. It feels like because they take more damage to explode, and they have it's just a tank, and so they are able to just run with it. They were making crazy rotations from the very beginning of the game. They had those positions on the rocks in the middle of the water, which are normally inaccessible, but having 2 hovercrafts, I wonder if other teams are going to start picking up on that, because that was an insane game from S2G.
I mean, we've seen it happen in the past too, and you just sounded like Max there for a second. I was going to have to double check to make sure it was Michael Natura Jackson or if it was Maxman, but we're looking at the overall ranking here. Enigma Galaxy is currently in first place with those 26 points. Aurora, top. What happened at the top of that bridge? That man ended up falling down, and he actually ended up hurting Aurora with the rotation that they were looking to do into the main island.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate there. I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, you're trying to be able to get into that end game and make those plays, and if you're Aurora, you know, 24 points on the board, you can't shake your head at, you know, and S2G being able to get that win, push themselves up to third place. You know, I like what we were talking about there about Nongshim a little bit earlier, right?
Hey, just look at the elements.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. 18 eliminations, and they would have gotten even more if it wasn't for those clutch plays from Vitality right there.
Yeah.
Because
Vitality.
we saw absolute Hyunbin in action, making some serious plays. But hey, again, super clutch moments here.
We have to talk about some of these other teams that are currently on the second page. I know it is the first day of PMWC at EWC 26 finals. It's only 2 games, but there is some things that we're starting to notice here, especially with 4 Thrives, the passengers that you were kind of talking about earlier, Neptura, as well as OG. OG needs to start being a little bit more aggressive and making sure that they look a bit more cohesive when you are being aggressive, because they were pushing one by one. It seems like a chicken without its head.
Yeah, it really did. And also they're losing players very, very early on. I think we've had that in both games now where they're losing at least 1 or 2 of their players. Godlike have had a better opportunity to keep their players alive. They've been split up a little bit more. They've been using a little bit more of the zone, but it's just when they actually get down to the fight towards the end game, that's where they start to falter. And that's why we're not seeing those strategies convert into points. So that's what we need to see there.
And India, if I have learned anything about OG, it is they need their 3rd game. So don't count them out yet. I've learned my lesson. Don't you stress. Orangutan in their 3rd match, what they tend to do is actually prioritize just kind of scoping what the rest of the teams are doing, making their game plan. Game 3, 4 is where they set their sights on fire.
Oh, I like that one. Now this is the group of death. Woo! This is the group of death, and this does feel like a finals right now with the way that some of these teams are playing. One man that I know is happy because he ended up picking that team that was in the top 3 here, none other than Team Flash. Maxman is looking to make sure he reverses curse, so let's send it over to Maxman in Calaris.
Well, we're not going to let him do any predictions here. That would be very, very serious indeed. But of course, we take a look at how things have gone down so far here in these 2 games. And we did have that interview just with Ralph, who's also a little bit confused about said hot drop.
I saw the hot drop that could happen on the map before this event. I'm like, they're not going to go for it because Nigma Galaxy has been dropping in Pachinki before I was even born. And yet, a team is trying to contest it away from them. And as he said, they're going for the hot drop, but they're not fighting and very confused. And they just see the loot truck pass by like, oh, my
Please
P90. No P90. Oh. So, Ida, I might want to change that because it's not helping you out.
I think it's going to be difficult for them to go up against that, but we will see if it continues. Ralph is also a little bit confused. Let's pivot kind of where we're at here as well. They've already alluded to it on the desk and how things have gone down so far for S2G, but just masterful control of the double hovercraft, some crazy plays, and the send out of Kamikaze to be able to make that work. For S2G, that was very, very impressive.
Yeah, it's just a domain expansion double hovercraft. I'm sure you get that reference right there, Calaris. But no, great use of it, especially you saw there in the during a little bit of a replay analysis where they block out the line of sight of one of the players of Alula to really separate them and win the fight off the back of that. When you're near the water, when you have these open-ended finish, hovercraft are, I'm gonna have to say it, they're completely broken, and S2G made full use of it until the very end of that game.
A tough circle though, right? If you think about where Aurora was when it comes to the bridge as well, we're having kind of conversations in the back about this is a military island kind of heavy team, and yet the bridge seems like a conundrum to them that can't solve like a Rubik's Cube.
It was a bit weird, especially because Top was on top of the bridge itself. And I think the player 4 Thrives got an angle onto him, so he goes down, kind of drops to his death at that point, right? And then the team tries to go and back up and hopefully get him back up on his 2 feet. But then Al-Ula were very sneaky, pushing right behind them on the bridge. I think Aurora, they're very experienced on that western bridge. We should be expecting more on the finish like this. So, you know what? First Durangle, it's fine. But the next Durangle, they need to show up.
All right, well, thank you very much, Maxman. It is time to head on over to the commentator team once again for game number 3 of the finals. Let's do it.
There we go, we'll pick up that throw. Thank you very much, James. There's a good arc on that one. Swift, great elbow on you. You can tell he used to be a drummer, but we'll be beating the drums of absolute anticipation and excitement here, Blank, as our 3rd game of the day is about to get underway.
Yeah, national gods as well as we get into this game, because it is going to be a lot to talk about going so far. I mean, even from watching the desk, to watching the stage hits, to watching the interviews, there's a lot to break down over the last match, and even just the 2 games we've had so far. There's been a lot going on. 4 Thrives on the first game, and having a little bit of a misstep, and then coming to the second one, looking a lot better. But so many good teams. I'm very confident to say this is about as competitive as it gets in PUBG Mobile right now. I think we have the right teams here with us to go into our third match of the day as we get towards our halfway point. Shooting range to start off down towards Novo. Straight through the center, really easy one here, Jackie, very nice. I think most people can get exactly where they need to go. Aurora, last game, like you said before, looked a little bit weakened, right? I mean, even Max picked up on it. He was saying that, hey, as the team's very experienced around this area of the map, should not be going down so early like this. It should be a game that you are a bit more in control of. And it wasn't the case here. Tiamba, they go out early. Extend a little bit further down towards the south side of the map on the west.
Yeah, you'd hope they'd be able to bounce back from that one here. Obviously, it was a nice start on game one, but that didn't really translate over. Has meant there was a little bit more fluctuation in the standings, and obviously for Tiamba as well. Far quieter, it was 16 eliminations on their opening game of Rondo, only 2 added to that count. See Milu still living his movie though in terms of individual plays, as he was popping off on Rondo. It was a big piece of the team. I wonder if we'll have something early here from Aura and Aurora. And where's that zone going to go? We've had some wacky zones this LAN. It's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, most circles have just been very strange so far, very awkward to play. We had a couple towards the end of survival stage, which I think I was quite grateful for, that were more normalized on Erangel at least, where teams could actually play out their games. Enigma Galaxy versus Ida. No idea why this is happening, by the way. It's actually very strange. I'll explain once it's done. I mean, Kalaris already went over it in the interview, but the context is crazy on it. So Ralph with the M249. There's some good shots done. Actually, Enigma Galaxy doing quite well here, but already losing a player does feel bad, and it being Coops is even worse. Take him on the side. Lord hits some shots with Abacan. It's back and forth here. Swine last left to face. Ooh. And Ralph will get it done with the M24. He's screaming!
He's up, he's standing up.
Give them large for that. It is absolutely insane that they continue to come here. For context, Enigma Galaxy has dropped in this location for years upon years upon years, and they say it every time. In fact, they actually say it to the crowd and to all the players, we will never switch our hot drop, so it is never worth it to fight Enigma Galaxy inside of Pachinki. Sadly for them, Fourth Rise feels like we can get some easy points off the back of this one. You guys just come off a fight. We know you've come off a fight. This is a great read from Fourth Rise. I actually love this.
Oh, mate, didn't see him on the angle. Fourth Rise spotting Lord. So as much as there was a pop-off of them defending their home turf on the hot drop, like you say, Fourth Rise know you're slightly weak. They'll look to get in there, twist the knife, and completely knock them out of the game, denying any more points on this.
I mean, to be honest, you do wonder if Fourth Rise boys, they see a big hubbub go over to the Enigma Galaxy camp, and they're like, they've just won that fight.
We should get involved.
We should fly over. Oh, cheeky work, but you got to make the point somehow. Ralph the M249 looking for some good damage, but the shouts from the crowd start to ring out. Fourth Rise might look to back away from this one, allowing Ralph as well as Satan to live another day. Circle did move up towards the northeast side. I don't know what Ida's doing, man. It's akin to throwing away all of your angles.
Yeah, it feels like one of those where it's kind of cutting your nose off to spite your face.
Yeah.
As much as, you know, it's your spot too. If it's not working, you got to adapt. Gigantic prize pool on the line. You fought this hard to be in finals. Don't ego challenge if you don't need to. But for Fourth Rise, can they find those elims they wanted off the back of this counter play? T24 spotted on the drop. Let's see if he can go for the peak off this. And of course for you, you can get involved with that Naruto event at home.
4T up top. T24, he's got an inkling. Smells him out on this one. Senses his Reiatsu inside the building. Satan underneath. Ooh, slightly slow on the timing there. And T24 tries to use the DBS. He's swinging around in circles. Satan's not sure where to look on this. The rest of Fourth Rise will come into hold. Finds the first. Takes more damage though. Ralph is nowhere nearby to help. Drops him down to 1. And it's an easy revive here on T24 inside the building. Church held.
Then get the revive back on T24. And Ralph's just had to stay, man. It's where he's been for so long.
You'd be furious.
Yeah, you'd be fuming.
You win it twice. You win the hot drop twice back to back. It happens again, it costs you your game. And not even because of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's the thing, it just comes back to haunt you, right? Here we go, this is the full replay on it, so you get all the action. Oh, mate, it's carnage from the start. Obviously, we had Coops go down early. Like you said, they pop off to win it. We saw the celebration from Ralph literally sending a message live in the event. Live in the flesh. Said it with his chest. They deserve the drop spot, but Ida don't want to give it up, and it's just really making it uncomfortable for both of those teams to get anything in these games.
It's the best Enigma Galaxy's looked in a long time as well. I think that's the saddest thing about it, and now it's happened in finals. And it's happened so frequently in the past as well, where Enigma Galaxy's just got to challenge another team for their drop spot. It's not guaranteed theirs for sure, but they've held it the entire tournament. Come on, guys.
No fear getting ran down by Aurora, as Top will find him on the move. Fourth Rives did peace out, going slightly deeper into the zone to do a bit of loot, and obviously wasting a decent amount of time on that as well for the elim they were able to garner.
Vitality down towards the southwest, started in Kameshki style, but this time we're taking him over towards Gatka, but they grab themselves the loot truck. Fiend as much as they can out from there. Circle up towards that north side, split between the lake, Yasnaya on the south side, on School, as well as Severny. Shooting range area. Tiamba tighten it in with E-Arena, Aurora, Godlike. Salme currently holding down the gas station, pops up tire. He can't come through here for repairs. He's got more bullets though.
Yeah, only 18 left. One in the clip, 17 in a hole. Let's see if he can turn some bodies cold on this push-up. Top going to drop down back behind the car. So Aurora taking a fair bit of damage. More reserve taps now. Got to find himself some ammo to play with. Switch it out to the Tommy just to keep the pressure on them. Suppressive fire.
Spraying it through, cutting the grass, but not quite finding the shots over towards the players. Next circle, 10 seconds roughly on this one. Aurora's still figuring out where they want to play. Probably going to be a big old retreat here out. Migrate for a lot of squads. Hard shift potentially. No, actually. Very, very kind. Up towards that north side. Obviously, Lake is a bit of an awkward one to play around. You're going to see a lot of people playing on the rocky outcrops. The staging that goes up towards Stalba. Big old mountainside. There is also, never mind, it's horrible. I lied to you. It's not great. You got the field down towards Yasnaya too, so there's not a huge amount of fun spots to play in. You have to decide a rotation in now and quickly. Do you wrap on the north? Do you wrap on the south? Because you can't really change that as time goes on because of Yas Lake.
Mormon from E-Arena once again, being able to throw out some big uppercuts. That's back onto Aurora. So single knock there. We have the Tianba POV on rotation. Getting themselves into a fair place so far. Mormon keeping it going. Ooh, that's Vitality as well, with Razy hitting a very big blow back onto Godlike. A lot of fights breaking out across the battleground. Individuals being knocked. Ulf coming in with some show-stopping rotates. Oh, right into the nade. WizGod had that one ready for him.
Got it primed. I mean, for Ulf, Aaron comes in swinging. But yeah, got shut down very, very quickly there. Scarface looks to send a nade, but I don't even think it's worth it anymore to go for this. Also deep on the south side of the map, need to swing back further up in Yazway. Alula instantly takes up the cliffside. Aurora decides they're going to go loot Severny. I mean, to be fair, they had taken quite a fair hit earlier on. Spent a little bit of ammo. Potentially some of the vests are starting to wear down, some of the helmets. Get some resets on that before you get moving.
Tiamba tackling against the Vitality Killer Bees once more. And it's Milu that's already showing that consistent form. Putting himself up to 10 elims on the day, I believe, then after that. Nice start for the first 3 games.
Milu keeping it a little bit quiet, though. And now playing a little bit of a split on this one. They've got Eagle a little bit further forward, perched up. Over towards Aura. Very much slowing down now at the halfway portion, Jackie. Trying to maintain some of that lead because some teams have struck out in a big way. I mean, Enigma Galaxy absolutely 30 points right now. Aurora at 26. They were able to earn 3 after that last game. In the first, I think they got 23 on that one. So last game was a bit of a dud. Hope they can find more of this one. Centers up over towards Tiamba as well as Aura. So those 2 compounds there are going to be a really big deal. Aura actually has the high ground on this one, the plateau that surrounds them. Very nice to be able to take shots out towards teams as they push on in. Sadly, Alula's much more high ground spot gets pulled off. So you're going to have to move over towards that western side. Yasser pulled away. I like this move from 4 Thrives though, Jackie. This is good.
4 Thrives still looking pretty nice in some of the encounters we've seen individually. Another roster we know that can be very explosive. Let's see if they can bring the boom on this one straight up towards the setup from Alula. Quick on top. Got a pump action in the back pocket ready for it if they can close the gap. Bit of overwatch from R3B on the top side with Claws relatively close to assist. Fast reactions onto the position of Falag, but the shot's not connecting.
Falag taking a little bit of damage here, down to half. Claws as a nade though, it's not the craziest of sends on this one. Good bounce on it, actually. That would have been on target if he hadn't moved. I mean, Falag just takes the time. Here's the arc on that one. So I don't want to have any part of it. Tough circle though, man. Very, very tough circle. The majority of the center is taken up by that water. I actually do really like S2G's position. They're playing over towards those compounds that sit just a little bit east over towards the lake itself. Oh, sorry, the cliff face. You got flashed down towards those compounds, but S2G currently playing on that rocky outcrop on the northern side, just holding out teams on the south here. Tiamba's actually even going to crunch in towards that little bank.
Fine margins between this going wrong for either of these 2 teams in 4 Thrives and Alula. So not wanting to risk it too much. Meanwhile, OG crossing past the crosshairs of Nonshin Red Force with Zizzy taking the peak over the top. Got the heavy weaponry ready to rock them if they stay close by. And luckily they have at least been able to create some space between the 2. Double back over to the bridge where Rolf is stationed.
Yeah, they know OG's in the area as well. See, Aaron struggled versus them earlier on his flying maneuver into the gas station. Tried to go for the movie entrance, but we went straight to credits instead. Yeah, Ulf hoping to hold them on the bridge side. Next circle, though, I'm feeling the pizza slice here over towards the west. I mean, Aurora currently have a really strong position on it, and we do head over there, in fact. But it's like a case of Aurora holding the central spot. They have a lot of 360 vision, but it's very open, Jackie. This is a very, very open area, a little bit unfun. There's quite a few radio towers and the square concretes that sit underneath them that end up being like where you play. You literally just lie down next to them, try and set up vehicles. You can see Vitality already sending over But this is quite a nice spot for Aurora. It's a tiny bit of hard cover, a little bit of a crescent lit behind them as well.
And that's the last man for Enigma Galaxy, and Ralph trying to stay alive for as long as he can, but finally falls to S2G. S2G possibly being collapsed upon as well by 4 Thrives. They fall next.
Yeah, good fight. Very good fight from 4 Thrives. S2G tried to jump the gun there, Jackie, and ran straight into titanium wall. A lot of hopes riding on these 3 players from Aurora, though. Another good game here. Sits them a little bit further ahead. Make up for that previous match there on Arundel. Not the greatest of pushes across the bridge to begin.
To be fair, with Nigma and S2G going down early, not really acclimating too many points on this one. It could be the dream recovery for Aurora if they can keep it up. Unfortunately for Godlike, Adamino unable to withstand the hit that is thrown towards him. Furia will get their mates back up and live on to fight on this one. 4 of our squads out of the running into the 3rd game so far.
Nongshim on that south side, actually trying to push on in, but there's quite a few teams there. Nongshim's just gonna barge over towards OG. Atanki's already down. Another nade towards the backside here. Good damage from Hyunbin, as always. Looking very, very strong. Hits the deck. Good dodge on that. Second nade's a bit stronger though. Aru now needs to get back into action. The rest of Nongshim Red Force lagging behind as Flash still continues to create a little bit of a nuisance for them in tops.
Back and forth blows, but Orangutan still being able to withstand. Uncomfortable for Nongshim, actually, man. Yeah, that's a nice flick back up towards the Wizard Tower, and it keeps him pinned in position, so he can't provide too much overwatch.
He's in a bad spot now. I mean, no position to help the rest of his team. It's a cool side swipe coming through from tops as well. Caused so many problems on the back line there for Nongshim Red Force. Just weren't quite quick enough. He's going to have an even deeper look into this one. He wants to get up close and personal, investigate. Potentially some more eliminations here left at the crime scene.
He's still trying to get an angle on this. The minute you got to move, he'll be ready for the catch. And Furia over on the other side of the coast have been taking shots over as well, so it's all been a little bit uncomfortable for the 4 squads that have been collapsing in onto that one position. This gas station for OG somehow being a very formidable defensive area.
Oh. Calling it from zone 3 there. I got a little bit lucky, but yeah, Aurora in a really, really good spot now. This is definitely redeemable city here for Aurora. We just need to not see them go for something silly again. That is all.
Yeah, just keep their cards close to their chest and be able to close this one out with some good plays. To be honest, mate, that is kind of the dream with what we saw off the back of this game with the other squads above them falling out early. It has presented that opportunity, and like you say, if they can grab it, you've recovered from that. We can all forget about game 2. Everything looks good for them, and they'd actually be on that podium spot in first place come the end of this game. But that's still in the future. Still a lot of other teams that could potentially look to upset them. So we'll stick with the narrative as it develops. This is their position right now. 4 Thrives going in against the arena. Doc looking to decimate some damage out, and he does hit nice. Good shot onto Falak. A little bit more they can do here.
I like that though. Good smoke. Over towards the rock side to kind of isolate this engagement between them and 4 Thrives in the arena on the northern edge. Makes a ton of sense to me as well. That vitality location is going to be a real problem for you. That's a long nade. Ooh. Actually hits on target. Great damage, and they just keep on pumping in. 4 Thrives are out. But yeah, I mean, that's some massively long nades on that one.
Just chaining them together as well, one after another, after another. They want to go in to grab the bits. drop the smoke, try and stay alive. Issue is you're now in a position where other teams can take shots onto you for free.
Yeah. Good. I mean, Doc is holding on. He is holding on. I think he's got that mentality where it's like, well, I'm sorry guys, I ran out that time. I will play anchor for the rest of the day, and I will keep you lads safe. It's a good shot over towards Silence. The rest of Fury need to re-angle over towards it, but it takes a gun away from that western side. But Aurora had to do that. They had to push over towards Four Thrives. They knew that it's not likely in the near future they're going to be getting many more death crates, and they need that util. They need that ammo to carry on inside of this match. Tiamba, though, looming off in the wings.
Had to restock and get themselves ready for what's yet to come. Tiamba, they've been doing a pretty effective job of harassing a lot of our other squads from distance as well throughout the past couple minutes, keeping pressure on them. Playing a little bit safer here in their setup. Window peek with good eye line onto some of the other teams. Scarface on the long wrap around back up the coastal ridge over towards the bridge side. Going to be coming in from the back near Vitality and Flash. This is his angle on the move. Ooh, spotted out. Starting to lose his HP bit by bit. Got to drop down to the deck and hope that he can hold on.
Kind of unsure how he's lived this long. I mean, Tops has got to know someone's mover here, the pitter-patter of the footfall. Close the distance. Scarface is instead just going to go for the heel. Tops pulls the pin. He should know. It should be right on the edge of the blue here. Good airbush will do the trick. Ruins the amount of healing that came through there. Aura from the sidelines, though, will get sleepy and over towards Bose. Top, though, is the one to refrag over towards that. Tiamba aching moving forward. Gets behind that radio tower. This is a good spot to aggress over towards Aurora on. But more importantly, hold out on the southeast side. Good nades again. Goodness me, Aurora's having none of it.
You feel the base on that one. More coming as well. Airburst over the top side, trying to arc it round the corner. Ooh. Eagles crossing his fingers, hoping the smoke is enough to get the pickup play back on Aching to stay alive.
I wonder if they're even going to push this, Jackie.
I mean, with a molly, you could. You get the spread on it, just try to follow up off the back. You know they're weak.
Oh, man. I think they just wanted to get the flush, at least, but not meant to be. That's a lot of nades invested there for basically nothing. Aking's going to send back one of his own. Now they're fully set up over here on the radio tower. Good Molotovs, maybe a bit more damage done. Chip damage from the nades should be good enough. So start to bombard now. They're splitting the difference on these ones. They know they have to go for one side, and it is over towards Dog. Survives the first blast of shrapnel and should survive the second.
So many nades though, and Doc, although the shrapnel hits him in the face, he takes that peek and shuts one player down once again. 6 nades thrown out for no real follow-up from it. So it goes both ways for either of these two teams. Top with the instant adjustment back over onto E Arena. No, he's being collapsed upon from two sides between this team.
Shreps now. Get the res on of E Arena. E Arena, you know, actually haven't been too bad. I think for the points they currently have, it's 19, but they've been consistently up towards at least the top 8 every game. Vitality still taking more shots here. Tiamba is the one to take down Tops. Tiamba's playing as a 4-man, and genuinely the way they weather the storm here versus Aurora, they have a place to play inside the circle going forward. More about dealing with the couple of players inside of that shack right there, and it's hard to line up those nades past the side. Always have that angle of Doc to worry about. He is so critical to his other two teammates living.
Schweppes with a bit of a forward scout play in the buggy, reading onto it. QZZ was knocked towards the backside. Thing is though, they've been here for so long and they've invested so many nades, so many bullets that they're starting to run dry and can't actually push out to get themselves anything. Availability of crates becoming an all-time premium. The longer this goes on, the worse it gets for Tiamba.
Yeah, they needed a break, honestly, and that break was going to come in, be able to get those shots, get those nades over towards Aurora. The Arena making a massive swing. Mormon's got 5 nades to play around with too. QZZ finds shots over towards Vitality. They are trying to stop 2 teams from squeezing them together. But this is a good play. This is actually a good play. It's a desperation play, but it's one that's very much needed for Tiamba right now as A-King moves in. Razak last step alive. Where's the rest of the team? QZZ moves up. How is Razak living this?
Oh, this is unbelievable. Razak raising hell amidst the chaos as he stands strong to punish back. Vitality looked like it was all said and done, but they pop off on that one against Tiamba's clash in, knowing they needed to shut them down to get themselves any sort of ammunition, any kind of supplies to play on. And it does not work how they wanted.
Wild stuff. The arena now. Send some nades in. Yol's the first to fall off the back of that. They have just played this game nice and slow from that northern side, trying not to get too involved in things. They've been saving up these nades for that end game. Mormon will move in and just completely cleans them out. This guy's been unbelievable with the S12K today.
Finishes off the stragglers. Slowly but surely, the team's exit stage left and the final fight begins to have itself set up. Furia coming back in with some of that firepower we had seen prior. Good damage onto E Arena. It's Tony K that's knocked behind the hard cover. Joker looks to wrap over to see if he can save his mate and put them back into an equal situation. 3 versus 4 right now. Schweppes warding off Ayala.
Igor's Mormon still coming out strong. He wants more on the game, and they are delivering. Igor's down, big player on the squad. Now it's time for the likes of Ayala as well as Chief to stand up tall. E Arena, they saved all their potential up for that late game, though. We saw how much ammo they still had more, how many smokes they still had remaining. This team basically played this one out for the chicken dinner. For E Arena, it's sort of not worth it unless they get the chicken dinner on this one. The amount they saved up, 5 nades still in the hand of Schweppes. Getting a second place is nice though, but yeah, it's this open ground, disgusting to work with. Furia is lining up for a big old bombardment from E Arena in the near future though.
Does he go down, man? It's kind of so brutal because he really has been this pop-off player for the team. Is that going to be enough of a deficit to really make this one uncomfortable?
Igor's, he's just providing all the information back all the time. Chief moves up over towards the loot crate. The nade has to be invested. Oh man, don't use it on that. Yeah, good. I was thinking that he was going to send it over towards Igor's. But he is just calling every single time they pull the pin on this one. When to move and when not to. Finally, the play zone takes him out and Fury is blind again.
You lose your eyes in the back line and have to rely on your gun skill now. A standoff between these two teams with open space in front of them, waiting to be crunched forth. Silence with the big guns in the back line, ready to spray. A lot of nades invested, dashing them in towards the middle here.
I mean, they're mega blind. I mean, they can't have moved that far. Unless Igor's giving it back the worst information in the world, but... Yeah, I mean, for Fury, I think there's a little bit of scaredness of that front line being aggressed upon. Schweppes pulls the nades. We are playing battleships right now. Grenade to E5. You missed by a mile.
Just dashing them out. He's gone wide, man. Start forest fire out in this field of Erangel right now. Be the best opportunity for them. That one actually hits.
He's having to drive into it though. Okay.
Assist.
I mean, I think we could just wait on these nades. There's plenty of time to wait on this one. E Arena can play off the back of the tree in the near future. Ayala's just going to swing round, right?
Not how I expected the first domino to fall, but that's Ayala going in and opening things up with an advantage for E-Arena.
This is PMWC here at EWC.
There's been an end game. It has been an end game. Igor's confused everyone. Silence now. Trying to be as quiet as possible. Decent Molotovs, these ones, actually. Trying to catch them on the rotate out. MG3 could make all the difference. Joker's about to send this nade back into the blue.
A little bit of a pre-fire. Problem is, the info goes both ways. Silent's got a good read of what angle they're actually playing from now.
Oof. He actually did.
Oh, okay. Chief with a peek up. There you go. Follow up off the back of it. Let's see if they can deal some damage. Silence peeks up. Warning shots out. Low on health. Got about half left to play with. Runs in towards the tree. He's got the shotty in his hands now. Yeah, all right. It's all kicking off here. They're going to be able to find it through in the end. E-Arena do clutch on. A bit of a topsy-turvy one, but a chicken dinner they'll still be proud of.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you, really? Good game from E-Arena. I think that the game plan was great. I think everyone confused one another right at the end. Igor's, as he went down, I think he might have thrown out some information that was maybe less than useful. Unfortunate stuff. To be fair, whilst he was still alive, they had a real good pinpoint on what E-Arena was doing. So I am joking. It's a joke, guys. I do think Igor's a great player. But yeah, still a weird endgame.
Yeah, it was a lot of utility investment with not too much information. Kind of felt like it was, we don't want to push, so we're just going to lob everything.
Yeah.
And then have that respectful gunfight once we get into
exactly. Because I do think that for E-Arena, they just wait a little bit longer, play up towards the tree line. With the amount of nades they had, they could have blanketed the entire thing. But even then, they were like bouncing them out into the blues. It's a little strange. And you're right. I also did not expect that to be the first domino to fall, which was just Ayala just getting mega impatient.
After all that waiting, it was kind of really like a curveball just came in. Swift gut punch. Didn't expect that.
I know they're behind. I'm just going to go for it. All right. Confirmed. That's where they are. You're dead, Ayala. That's where they are, lads.
Yeah, I got the info.
Okay.
Got the info.
Info game. Sick of playing battleships. But yeah, overall, I think if we look a little bit prior into that game, I think Aurora, the way they set themselves up, not bad, but there was a couple moments where it got real hectic. I think a lot of teams made it far into that end game. Tiamba play out that radio tower really, really well. Even I think Tiamba's decision-making does require bringing up a little bit. The fact that they decided to push over towards Vitality in that moment, the play almost works, but the speed at which they do it, like we're getting crunched right now, we have to just fly over towards this team and take them out. They have no qualms about just fully going for it. I really like that, and I think that that's the type of playstyle that's going to win you games more often than it loses them.
No, absolutely. I think, again, that was one where it was like Razak just kind of popped off on the hold.
Yes.
Honestly, it was better play from him than it was bad play from them. He just popped off on a solo mission where it's like, oh, fair play. You've actually kind of owned us there.
Yeah.
But what the play was meant to do was great. They needed ammo. They needed supplies, and they went for it. So
absolutely.
It was a head-on call.
It was the right thing to do. And the right thing for us to do right now is to go for a little moment with the boys over on the stage, and we'll be back real soon.
Powers here at PMWC 26, joined by John Allen, Kalaris, and Neptura, and we're playing a round of Hot Drop Dance.
Ooh, we're going to be getting stuck into the board, hopefully. Maybe not for some. Some are having a bit of trouble during practice, but we're going to be taking some shots at the board. The person with the least score is going to have to give their hot take, so let's jump into it. You guys, I think you two have to go first.
I think we get Nep up there first. Let's get Nep's in a prime position for this. I feel like I'm in the danger zone, but let's see.
Get ready to dodge.
Oh, it's your best one. Yeah, that's
it's on the board.
Thank you very much.
Shuffle up.
Thursday.
And Kalaris up to the bat. Oh, okay, all right.
Okay. This is good. This is good. There you go, James. There you go.
Shuffle in.
Thank you. Don't hit me, please. Oh, it's a 17. Currently, Neptune last with 6.
No way. Oh, a double 17.
It's a triple 17.
It's a triple one, I don't know.
That means Neptura is last.
Are
There
you
go.
serious?
Yep. What's your hot take, Neptura?
My hot take is that the Uzi is a bad weapon and shouldn't be played.
There you go.
That's it. Wait.
This one was Neptura.
That one was mine.
bullseye.
No, it's in 25.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
It's you.
Well, she's already done a hot take now, so.
Wait. You did that on purpose.
No,
you.
no, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. All right, here. Go on.
John starting us off. Let's see. Oh, hey.
A 5.
It's
Not
in.
bad.
That's all that matters, really.
It's on the board.
Here we go.
I haven't missed.
Kalaris now. Forearm strength. It's good. It's good.
Ooh. That could be a treble.
That's nice.
Get out
There
the
you go.
danger zone. The splash zone's coming for you, Kale.
Good maths.
Oh, that's a triple.
Okay.
Triple 3.
God. All right, here you
Oh.
go, mate. Take this.
I'm pretty sure it's currently the lowest. Wait, no, it's not.
I'm
John's
on a
the
5.
lowest. Yes, John's the lowest.
Or is that a 2? It's a 5, I think.
It's a 5.
Oh, and that's a 2.
That is a 2.
I've been saved by the upside down
It's true.
version of my own
Jackie,
number.
it's your turn.
There you go.
Bosh.
Okay. Hot take. Dino Park and Vikendi, infinitely better than Ronda. I miss it. Bring it back.
Oh, okay.
All right, considering I actually lost the first round, I should probably do a hot take because I cheated you out of it. I'm so sorry. Tiamba will not win PMWC despite looking really good.
I feel like I've got to follow in with a hot take as well.
Oh, okay.
I feel like over-reliance on ARs, nonsense. I want DMRs in, give the players a little bit more expression in the secondary slot, you know? Those submachine guns, something else popping in. Give a little bit more individuality. That's what I want to see.
I like it.
Don't give me this mic. You know what I want? I want all of your opinions from the viewers at home. You in the chat. Tell us what you think. Let us know right here, right now. What are your controversial takes?
Chasing the sunrise, boots hit the ground, hear the battle call. Loot up, lock in, we're ready for it all. Every street, every door, searching for a little more. One squad, one dream, nothing's ever what it seems. The circle's closing in, can you feel it on your skin? Heartbeat like the drum, the final fight has come. Fight till you make it. Never gonna break it. Stand your ground and take it. Right into the fire. Fight till you make it. Every move can change it. Higher and higher. We're reaching for the winner, chicken dinner. Fight till you make it. Fight till you make it.
If I'm not mistaken, Neptura, I think you actually won at darts. And I think you got that chicken dinner.
I did.
You were lied to, but
Very mad.
in this last game, E-Arena wasn't lied to, Max, because E-Arena came out with the win.
I never know how to react to an E-Arena win now since that Rondo 39-pointer. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's a cool win. But what's next? No, it genuinely was a good game. It was very open-ended finish between Furia and E-Arena. I think it was kind of even Steven until eventually Ayala got a little bit overly aggressive on that push. Then he gave the man advantage and E-Arena using every resource they had available to get that win. Good to see, but again, I need to see that continue in your next coming matches.
Take it away, Lace. I know you've been wanting to talk about this team for a minute.
Hey, Arlo, I am revoking your driver's license because I was waiting for the Furia drive by Max. E-Arena, obviously, they deserved that win because of Furia and their driving and not taking that position early on. I mean, I liked the way that they sort of held out E-Arena early on in the map. Yeah. They had Silence kind of scouting Vitality's movements right down at the south side. So this was such a better play from them. They're actually defending and looking where other teams are sort of pushing into that position. They had such a strong split hold. Obviously, a little bit of tunnel vision coming out of some of the players there, and then I don't know what the vehicle situation was, and you could hear me screaming in the back, he's like catching nades with the vehicle as well, and I'm like, what plan is this? They had such a strong position after getting, like,
this one.
Yeah, after moving their way into zone on the rotation on the southern side, Max.
Look,
I'll give you my mic back, I'm really upset.
I know what happened, actually. I was talking tonight. I saw him as we were leaving the talent room, and I asked him, like, what was the play with Ayala? And he said the idea for Ayala was to get an off angle on the team and actually catch them from behind. But then he saw two players and he got scared. And that's the thing is, right, lack of information will make you do these kind of mistakes. So it could have been a good idea, and catching nades didn't work out. It could have been great, but unfortunately, two-player setup was exactly what E-Arena needed in case of those kind of pushes coming their way.
That was just a big, something I like to call, what the Furia. WTF, because that's exactly what ended up happening with that one. I've been working on that one all day, especially with the way that they were playing earlier. There was a squad, though, that was able to put up a good amount of eliminations, and it was none other than Aurora. Aurora, once again, Neptura being able to back it up with the limbs, even though they wasted a lot of utility with Tiamba.
They did wait. It was a big old red zone, and it was fairly unnecessary. However, it does get you those points, right? And it's been really nice to see them actually, because I think in the group stage, right, we saw them just doing just enough to get into the top 5, just enough to get to where they wanted to be. Now we're seeing true Aurora here. Now we're seeing the team that we're used to seeing, and I'm really, really enjoying that. I think they've actually played a lot better, right? They're very even. They're not splitting. Doc's not doing his thing. He's staying with his team, and Rifus, Enziel, we've seen some really cool off angles from them, so very happy with them.
And something that I enjoy seeing there, especially out of that graphic, Max, is Top being able to bounce back. Remember, earlier in the previous match before this one, Top was on top of the bridge. It didn't end up working out for him, but 4 LMs out of him, a person that has been an MVP before on an international finals, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, really happy. I mean, the best way to describe it is what you said, Niptra. They became a red zone at that moment in that game, and I love the way that any team would get in contention of their zone, they would start just nading them to hell and back. So Aurora playing it really well. I am still not sold on their performances so far. I feel like there's still a lack of fragging power that they used to have in the past. Doc is underperforming quite significantly. So Top, GG's, I'm loving it. Zol too had some great moments, especially in that rondo. But Doc, he's still sleeping right now. He needs to wake up.
Wake up, Doc. Wake up. Just make sure you don't start going away from your team, because that's when things ends up falling apart for Aurora. But Aurora, honestly, 36 points, currently tied. But the tiebreaker does go to E-Arena with that win that they ended up getting. Tiamba, though. Tiamba right now, the aggressiveness that we've been seeing out of this team, if you want to give the mic to Lace, they're currently putting up those numbers, Lace, because 27 eliminations for that squad and only 4 placement points.
Yeah, I see that. This is what I'm saying. They're finding those fights. They're gathering those eliminations, finding a nice power play position, but then unfortunately losing it, which is where we see the decline in placement points. But obviously this is still a really good trend for them, especially coming out of survivals into this sort of scenario, and to have that amount of points and that sort of trajectory is incredibly good for them. But of course, we got to bring it back to kind of the smash rule and the way that you have to gather these eliminations. It's fine. It's good to do it, obviously, today, but then we got to see more of those placement points and those wins out of them to be able to take more than that.
100%. And another team that's currently doing that, Max, is none other than Nongshim. And I know you weren't quite happy with what Nongshim, especially Human, was doing that last game.
Yeah, initially I love the way they initiate the fight onto, I think it was Orangutan in that gas station. I'm like, okay, you've got some solid off angles, I like it, they're pushing the fight. But the thing is about off angles, they lose effectiveness the longer the fight goes on. And I think it was one of the play on the Harry Potter tower, he had a great line of sight, but eventually Orangutan know you have that line of sight, so they're not going to peek you that aggressively. That would be the prime time for them to regroup, fully commit to the fight and send it, and hopefully come out on top. But they're very slow to respond to these moments, and I'm very upset with their opening performances so far.
Yeah, one team talking about aggressive, talking about people committing to a fight. We saw Enigma Galaxy and Ida finally commit to the hot drop, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't want to see it. I don't care about it. Leave that ego to some other time, because right now it's going to be hurting those two teams.
Yeah, it is, and we did see Fourth Thrive take advantage of what's been going on there, right? Just dropping in on them, trying to get a few limbs and then move back to their position. They were trying to punish that as much as possible just because it's kind of silly. In the finals, maybe day one you kind of get away with it, but keep on doing it. It's not going to work out. Four Thrives knew that, and you know, they might not be the only team to take advantage of that if the playing path's a little funny. If that keeps happening, other teams might just third party that.
Yeah, they will end up third partying that. We saw there towards the bottom of the leaderboard as well. Godlike, OG currently not being able to put up those numbers. Those are two teams that are looking to bounce back. But right now, we are halfway through that mark. Lace, any team that has surprised you so far?
I would just like to say that, like, I'm very proud of you, Furia. I know I was a little bit mad in that situation, and I was surprised about you in the first couple of games, and I just want to make it note that that was a much better performance. But still, I'm taking your driver's license away.
That was a good performance. Next time you ever take my mic, Lace, this big old chicken is going to be hitting your head once again. But as we're getting ready here for match 4, let's send it over to none other than Barney and Luti.
Luti, yeah, you know how last week we were talking about how to win PMWC?
Oh, yeah, the big secret I told everyone.
You gave everyone some incredible insight for those
indeed.
of you at home that were listening. Teams were listening as well. Aurora Gaming, Tiamba,
Doing
Arena,
good.
they're playing very well at the moment.
Indeed.
But let's break it down into the finer details.
Oh, it's
Okay,
pleasure, yeah.
I want to ask you a little bit more. Okay, so what's the best map to capitalize on points?
I mean, there is different teams with different play styles, so it depends.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, it depends, yeah. How about vehicles for late rotations, getting into a good position? What's the best vehicle to use?
The horse, the buggy, and so different maps, so it depends.
It depends.
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Utility, okay, so end of game, smokes, nades, medical packs, bandages. What's the best thing to have in your arsenal?
I mean, depending your situation with the cycle, so I will answer, it depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
Okay. Luti.
It's not that easy,
Luti. What's the best gun in the game?
I mean,
let me guess. It depends. Sacre bleu.
No, Barney. Everyone knows it's the P90. No, depends. Okay, back to you, casters. I hope you're ready. It depends.
And yeah, he's right. The P90 is where it's at. But we are here live in the finals, getting ready for the last 3 matches.
Absolutely. We have got a great day unfolding before us. We've had some real step-ups from a lot of teams coming on through, some great rotations, some insertions, some side swipes into those zones. That S2G hovercraft double roll-up, that was looking pretty, but we're going to be sending ourselves once again over to Erangel to find ourselves one more chicken dinner.
Let's see who's gonna get it. Yeah, I mean, this is it, the last Erangel of the day, and it's time to put up some serious points. I mean, we're still super early in this tournament, but we're already starting to see some teams, right, make some things happen. I was able to talk to one player in particular as we were getting into this game. I happened to see S-Power from Godlike. The hair is hard to miss. I went up to the man and said, hey, you know what, give me 3 words before we get into this next match. And he said, the domination begins.
Ooh, using a whole word on the. That is bold. That's the sort of confidence that you want to see coming through. For Godlike, they do want to try and push a little bit further up those tables, try and get in the competition for those top spots. Of course, having only seen 3 matches, we are still in a fairly uncertain situation, in a state of flux when it comes to those tables. Obviously, some performances standing out more than others, but it's definitely still achievable because of the fact that we have got an 18-match set, right? We've been playing so far on 12-match sets time and time again, but moving over to that expanded 3-day approach, that 18 set, that's where consistency really comes into play. So it's teams that are able to earn 6, 7, 8 points on those games that are going to be the teams that will take those top spots, those podium positions.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it's all about putting up as many points as you can early on, and consistency is going to be the king here at the end of the day. I mean, we saw in the group stage, right, E-Arena, 39 points in one single game, and they weren't even able to make it. I mean, straight to the finals. They had to deal with the survival stage, and let's be honest, I mean, luckily we're able to get here, right? So, I mean, but they're crushing it now. They did a great job in that last game, right? And so they're off to a strong start. Let's just see if they're able to keep that pedal to the metal. Aurora starting off strong is really good because historically, they've always taken a long time, right, to really get warmed up. But for them to put some points on the board early just goes to show that come finals time, they're adjusting their strategies and it's working out for them.
Maybe able to finally claim a title spot, you know, that's what they're going to be looking for. Plenty of other teams looking to do so as well. I know there's plenty of fans in the crowd for Furia who are there, really giving them their backing, which has been nice to see. Hopefully they can keep up the pace towards the top side as well. But yeah, I mean, there is so much on the line. That trophy, a threat to so many, but a promise to only one of our teams.
Man, one of the sickest trophies you could put on your shelf. I love every single year I see it. I'm like, oh, you gotta get one. And this is what these teams have been hunting for. They've been working all year long to get here. And we can tell the teams that have prepped, and it's every single one of them. It's wild to see all these names, and the level of competition has never been so even, in my opinion, right? I mean, there is squads all across the board. They get a good couple zones, good couple situations. They're not messing around. They're going to take full advantage of it here. You talked about Furia, right? I think it's only a matter of time before we see them get a chicken dinner. We got to see some keys a little earlier. We saw that Team Vitality key, Tianba, 2 monster squads as well. So it's just really about that consistently like that you talked about. But you know what? We're in the final Erangel of the day, John. One thing that stands out to me, without a shadow of doubt, is Pachinki, right? What is going on there? That last game has to mean that something's got to switch up, right?
It has to. Something definitely has to change. For me, I feel like Enigma Galaxy, they kind of, well, certainly we know how consistently Ralph will just sacrifice tournaments to hold on to Pachinki. So for me, I'm just unsure as to why Ida made the decision to stick to that drop spot. There are obviously other opportunities, and it's sort of, it reads ego to me. It reads ego that they aren't disengaging. I liked Fourth Ride's adjustment. They were able to get in. They were able to get, I think, 2 eliminations right at the start of the match. Really, really nice stuff from that very peer position that they normally drop around. They were able to move on up. They exploited that situation. But I think that the second good decision that Fourth Ride's made in that scenario was not to hunt down Ralph, right? Because he's a solo. He's hiding in a corner. You don't know exactly where he is. You disengage. You don't go hunting, because a solo in a corner in Pachinki, you could lose a player to that very, very easily. So I liked their withdrawal there coming on through. The other side of a hot drop in Pachinki that is a massive factor, certainly for later into the mid and later game, is the fact that in a hot drop, you don't get that loot truck, and you can't get it double either, which means that it went over to Vitality during that last match. It goes over to other teams who just sit on that northwest side. It's also an incredibly clear indicator that a hot drop is happening to a team out there, so they can grab that one and send on in to maybe pick up the pieces.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the highlights here before we get started, as these teams are going to get locked and loaded here in just a second here, folks. But yeah, you know, when we go back to that hot drop, it's wild to see. I've been kind of watching these two teams talk to each other all along here in Paris. And I'd see, you know, Enigma Galaxy players walk by Ida players and kind of have some exchanging of words. And I was hoping they would kind of get this settled before the finals, because I think it's just a devastating loss for this to continue here for both of them. And in the last game, it showed, just like, because guess what? Fourth Thrives. They came to party right after. They were like, oh, you know what? There's a silly fight happening in Pachinki. We'll take those eliminations, and they got some of them, right? So I think now that you have Fourth Thrives, especially now on the hunt for this, it's got to make, you know, Ida and Enigma Galaxy have to start second thinking, I think, some things. But at the end of the day, like you said it, you know, for those of you guys that don't know Ralph's true name, it's Ralph Pachinki Sanchez Montero III. Okay. Pachinki is in the name, all right? And he will refuse to let it go. And I mean, they've dominated it, right? We saw them be able to take out Ida, but now that you have Fourth Thrives coming into play, it's got to make you second guess things.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that dropping in Pachinki is in Ralph's will somewhere.
Yeah.
For any eventually, hopefully, in the very far future. But if he keeps dropping in Pachinki in-game, he's certainly not going to have a long life expectancy. Aurora Gaming able to do the business, but we are going to head to a quick video whilst we get this lobby ready to rock for our last Pachinki today.
안녕하세요. 저는 농심 레드포스의 엑지입니다. 여기는 현빈, 조이지, 키즈입니다. 프로 선수로서 경쟁하는 일은 항상 힘든 일입니다. 하지만 이런 플레이 라운지에 오게 되면 즐거운 게 되게 많죠. 저희가 이 플레이 라운지에 왔기 때문에 이 플레이 라운지에 있는 것들을 즐겨보겠습니다. 가시죠. 이 공간은 협력 공간입니다. 대회 측과 소통하거나 협력해야 될 일이 있으면 이곳에서 해결하실 수 있습니다. EWC 공간에 있는 한 공간 중인 탁구장이 있는데 저희가 한번 재밌게 해보도록 하겠습니다. 오! 많이 나왔는데? 아이씨 뭐야? 여기는 여러 가지 즐길 것이 있는데요. 저희가 한번 다 체험해 보도록 하겠습니다. 대회를 할 때면 항상 배고플 때가 있는데 EWC에서 제공해주는 음식이 있는데 그 품질이 아주 좋고 최고급이라고 해서 저희가 한번 먹으러 와봤습니다. 아 배고프다 빨리 가자.
Welcome back to the Hot Drop Watch here as we await the fate of Pachinki. It is still undetermined as to who is going to last the longest in that location, and if we may have a fourth, a fifth, or maybe even more teams. Perhaps everybody is going to Pachinki. It's going to be a 64-player brawl in the center of the map.
You know what? Oh man, I want to see that action. That would be absolutely insane. I mean, if it wasn't going to be possible, now would be the time because it's the last one of the day. But you know what? It's time to see what exactly is going to happen as we get into the map. Final Erangel of day one of the finals. Now let's see who's going to be able to put some serious points on the board before we get into the sandy deserts of Miramar.
I mean, I'll take non-serious points at this stage. Of course, every single team would as well. Plane path on the west side of the mainland here, coming through from North George to the west point of Sosnovka military base. And it will be going fairly close to Pachinki, so we're not going to be denied it by the plane path. Hora out early over towards Severny. Tiamba over into North George. Keeping an eye out to see if any of our teams on the hot drop are going somewhere else, but I'm really not holding my breath.
I kind of am here.
Oh.
You know what? I will say, yeah, you can see already. Look at that. Looks like we're going to see another hot drop in Pachinki as Ida and Enigma Galaxy are headed in that direction.
Uh-oh.
Very, very interesting. I will say, we got to give massive props to Enigma Galaxy for being so high up on the leaderboards, considering that they've been dealing with this all day long here. I mean, they're in 4th place, 30 points. That's pretty insane.
Sure, I mean, they were able to take a chicken dinner